Last time I went over what I spoke when I wake up to myself in the morning. And obviously, like I said in the comments, actually in the description, that my phone decided to run out of space. So it ended on a abrupt note. But basically, what I noticed is people like to make things a little harder than what they should be in their lives. And addiction is definitely one of them. I'm not saying it's easy by far, but what I am saying is you get to a point in your life where um, you eat enough crap, and I get that from a therapist that I used to go see when I was detoxing, and he would always have people in there, and they'd always try to make excuses about their addiction and that they didn't need to be saved and all this other crap, and and he would just basically look at them and says, "Well, you just ain't ate enough crap in your life yet." Once you get to the point to where you're sick of eating crap, come back and talk to me, and then you'll be ready to get clean. And basically, people think they think of the term rock bottom when you hit it, but for an addict, you hit rock bottom almost every other day. It seems like so. It's a point in your mind that you get to a point in your mind where you're just I've had enough. You just get to the point where you're just I have had enough. And you wake up the next day or you wake up then in your mind and you're just like, no more, no more. I won't allow myself to be fooled anymore by these drugs or by whatever I'm addicted to. And you just start being more truthful to yourself as to reason why you're even doing these drugs in the first place. And the hard part comes after realizing that, trying to figure out exactly why that reason is. And then you have to sit in it. You have to, soak it up and feel all the pain that you've been hiding. Because, like I said last stream or last video, that we start at a low place, and every time we want to dip down in that low place, we need a drug to pick us back up. And that's just the cycle. We go from here to there to like this, and everybody does this. Even normal people do. Except normal people have a higher range. Addicts, we start down here, and we need a drug just to be up to normal, and then we need another drug hit in order to go even up high. But we never hit truly up here. As soon as that drug starts wearing off, we go all the way back down to low again, and that's what detoxing is that low feeling. And what you have to realize is that you got to sit in that low feeling, you have to marinate in that low feeling, and be okay there. You have to learn to be okay there. And people make it out like it's harder than what it really is, and they try to come up with all these different terms for it. And really, it's just being truthful with yourself. You have to say, okay, this bad stuff happened to me, but no longer will I ever let it affect me. Um, and that's why, like I said in last video, when I start out the day, I tell myself that I'm allowed to be happy because I am. Because for the longest time, I believed that I didn't believe I was. I didn't think that anybody wanted me around. And all I tried to do was fit in with everybody that I came across. And it took me all my life to realize that it's okay to not fit in. It's actually, I prefer it now. I actually prefer not fitting in now. And I wish I would have seen it sooner. Anyways, today I'm going to go over being truthful with yourself and truthfulness. And in our group, we got a piece of paper here. I got actually two pieces of papers here that our therapist was kind enough to send to me. And I want to read it to y'all. And I want you all to, in the comments or whatever, I want you to and try to answer some of these questions either to yourself or if you want to comment down here to help other people. and we'll go over this. It says truthfulness during substance dependence. Not being truthful is part of substance dependence. It is hard to meet the demands of daily living, relationships, families, jobs, and use substance regularly. As you become more dependent on the substance, the activities that are necessary to obtain, use, and recover from the substance take up more of your life. It becomes more and more difficult to keep your life on track. People who are substance dependent often find themselves doing and saying whatever is necessary to avoid problems. Telling the truth is not important to them. And it says the first question is, in what ways were you less than truthful when you were using substances? And one of those ways, like I said, is we're not even truthful to ourselves. A lot of people won't even admit they're even an addict. A lot of people will use the term self-medicating. I used it for years. I still use it. And there's a term, I mean, you can be self-medicating, but there's a point in time when you're also abusing the drug that just to get happy, you know? To me, self-medicating is using it just to hit the normal or using it for a mental illness or using it for something that's actually wrong with you. And once you get cured with that, I mean, once you use it, taking a dose of it, like taking a dose of medicine, and then you finally get that, then you don't use it again until you need to for that illness. That's self-medicating. If you use it in between those times, which almost all of us do, that's abusing it, and that's addictive behavior. And so, yeah, I'd like for you to answer that question. Down below it, it says, during recovery, being honest with yourself and with others during the recovery process is critically important. Sometimes being truthful is very difficult for the following reasons. You may not seem to be a nice person. Your counselor or group members may be unhappy with your behavior. You may be embarrassed. Other people's feelings may be hurt. And it says, being in treatment without being truthful may make everything you are doing a waste of time. And then the second question is, how has truthfulness been difficult for you in your recovery? And honestly, for me, nobody likes hearing the truth. That's one of the first things that I changed when I started realizing that I just wanted to get away from all this madness. Was I stopped lying. I completely stopped lying. I don't lie, and I don't try not to lie at all anymore. I try to be truthful with my answers, whether people want to hear it or not. I just try to be as honest as I possibly can, because it's just a it's just an eternal thing. I want to be truthful. I want to be honest, and I feel like the world today has gotten so used to just lying, with misinformation, with the media, with everything that it's sickening to me. It's sickening to me. I can't stand it. So I made that choice a long time ago before I even got clean to start. I'm just going to spill out to be truthful. I used to be that way before. Then when I was really in my addiction really bad, I lied and to manipulate everybody to try to get money, to try to say I didn't have a problem, to get free drugs, to free rides, to manipulate to have friends, everything. I lied all the time, and then it made me sick. You know what I mean? That I was doing this every single second of every day, and I didn't used to do it at all. And really, to be honest with you, I didn't even need to do it. And I just did it just because it was thought of me. Like people looked at me and they said, "Well, he's a liar." So I just assumed that I should lie, which is awful. I should never do that to myself. And but anyways, I want to hear what your all's answers down there. Obviously, make sure you like, subscribe, all that stuff, because I'd really like to spread this message out there and try to get some help to these people, to my people, not these people, but my people. And there's also some separate questions here at the bottom, just yes or no questions, and it just says, being partly honest is not being truthful. And this is like, do you ever decide to let someone believe a partial truth? Do you ever tell people what they want to hear? Do you ever tell people what you wish were true? Do you ever tell less than the whole truth? And because all of that, if you do any of that, it's still lying, and it's still not a good thing to do. I've, everything's changed nowadays. And see, when I was growing up, being truthful was considered honorable. It was like, I mean, you got in trouble less if you were truthful to people. If, everything was centered around truth, you expected people to tell the truth. And I think the internet ruined all that. And it's sad. It's really sad. Because not being able to take anybody for the word is awful. And it makes you feel alone in this world, which is, like I said, was my first problem was the fact that I felt alone. So like all it did was compound on my addiction. But anyways, I'll see y'all next week, and hopefully you guys will give me some good answers in there. Thank you.